Here we have our spreadsheet containing 3 columns. First column is the numbers for each country. Second column is the country by name. The third column is the image link for each country. Now, to get these image links, I went to Google. I typed in world flags. Went to the first site. So we have all the images here. And I simply right-clicked on each flag. And I selected copy image link. And I went back to the spreadsheet and pasted that link to the corresponding country. So we're going to take this information and import it into Power BI. So I'm in a blank Power BI report, and the first thing I want to do is go into Power Query. So I'm going to click the Transform Data button. Here's a Power Query editor. So I want to import that spreadsheet into Power Query. Let's go to New Source, Excel Workbook, click on World Flags, hit open, check the box, you see a preview of the spreadsheet, press OK. And our data is in Power Query. The first thing I want to do is rename this image link column. I want to call it "What country is this?" Next thing I want to do is I need to create a copy of this because I just need the list of countries. So I'm going to go to right-click the flags query, go to reference, call this countries, go to choose columns, select just the country column, hit OK. Next thing I need to do is I need to create a random number for our quiz that's going to generate a random number between 1 and the last number, which is 195. So let's just say between 1 and 196. It's going to generate a number between 1 and 196. So to do that, I need to go to New Source, blank query. I can use this function called number.random between 1 and 196. So when we hit enter, it gives us 52.52. But we need a whole number. So we need to use the round function that will produce a whole number between 1 and 196. So we can just wrap the round function around the rand between function like this. So we hit enter, we get 184. So each time this is ran, we're going to get a different number. So next thing I need to do is I need to convert this into a table. So now it's a table. I'm going to rename the column. I'm going to call it random number. And I'm going to rename the query, call that random number. So you see, it's generating a random number each time it's ran. So this is all we need to do in Power Query. We just need to go to close and apply, and it's going to send our data into our data model. One step I forgot to do in Power Query, so let's go back to Power Query, transform data, go to the random number query. I need to create a blank column. So to do that, I'm going to hit Add Column, Custom Column. I'm going to call this column Press to Play. Like I said, it's just going to be a blank column with nothing in it. You'll see why we're doing this later on in the video. So go back to the Home tab, hit Close and Apply. What we need to do is we need to go to our data model and make sure that that's set up correctly. So I'm going to click the data model button. So we need to have a one-to-one relationship between the random number table and the flags table. So I'm just going to drag this. All right. That's all we need to do here in the data model. So let's go to our report view. First thing I'm going to do is change the background color, change the transparency. So we need a couple of visuals. I'm going to create a slicer. Put it right here. The slicer is going to be for our press to play column. Make sure it's a list. Change orientation to horizontal. Go to filters. Remove that blank. Next thing I need is another slicer. It's going to be based on what country is this field from the flags table. Make sure this is a list drop down. A list. General orientation, horizontal. We need a table underneath. This will have a list of countries to choose from. So we click on press to play. It's not showing our image. So to show our image, we need to go to the data view, go to flags, select what country is this column, and in the data category, change that to image URL. Go to report view. See if we hit refresh. Now we have our image. So each time we hit refresh, we should get a different flag, and we do. So we need to have this pressed at all times, but we don't need to have this displayed. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to go to the View tab, Selection pane, and just turn off that slicer. Next thing I need to do is I need to create 2 card visuals. So card visual here. And this card visual is going to be based off of our DAX measure, which we're going to create. Let me copy this card visual and create another one underneath. So before we create our DAX measures, I'm going to create a virtual table. So go to Enter Data, rename this DAX Measures, rename the table DAX Measures, hit load. It's going to create a virtual table for us. This is where we're going to put our DAX measures inside of that virtual table. So the first measure that I'm going to create is for the selected country. So I'm going to select the DAX measure table, go to New Measure, so our measure is called Selected Country, and we're getting the country from the flags table. Okay. We can get rid of this DAX measure column. Delete. So this card visual will be based off of this measure that we just created. So you can see this will be our answer. Bahamas is the flag. So we hit refresh. France is the flag right here. So this card visual gives us the answer. I'm going to just make this text smaller. Data label, change it from 45 to 20, or 25, let's say. All right. Next thing we need is our correct or incorrect measure. Select the virtual table, go to New Measure. Change this to What country is this? Zoom in so you can see. So we have our measure called correct or incorrect. So this card visual will be based off of that measure. So right now it says it's incorrect. I'm going to select the bottom card visual, go to Format Painter, select the top one. So we need to create one more measure for our back color. Let's go back to this one. So I'm going to copy this. DAX Measures, new measure. Change this to green. Change incorrect to red. Red. Okay. Oh. This should have been called back color. Alright, so we need to select this card visual. Go to background, conditional formatting, field value, DAX measures, back color. All right, so if we pick France in our list, turns green. Any other country will turn red. Now we need to create some bookmarks. So go to View, Bookmarks. All right, so we need to hide our answer. So I'm gonna select the card visual, hide that. Click on Add, call this Hide Answer. You need another, need to uncheck data, hit Update. You need another bookmark that will show the answer. Click on Add. Show answer. Check data, update. So now we need to insert buttons, navigator, bookmark navigator. Now we have our bookmarks here. Just make this smaller. So we can hide our answer, and we can show our answer. We can refresh to get a new flag. Hide answer. Refresh. I think this is Albania. So hit Albania. It's correct.